I can always remember my grandmother used to sit at the table and she would go like this. And then she would go like this. And they called that twiddling your thumbs. Well, one of the things I absolutely believe is that as Christians in the world today, we cannot be just sitting around twiddling our thumbs, because we're getting nowhere. And the gospel today, if we listen carefully, was about using what God has given to us in the best possible way. How have we used what God has given us, each of us, to the best of our abilities? And so when we talk about the gospel today, we're talking about an attitude. And that attitude is an attitude that somehow has to be checked. Does our job performance as Christians meet our profession? Does our performance live up to our profession? And we make our profession of faith each and every Sunday. We profess that we will live as stewards of God's kingdom. We are going to anoint a child tonight as the steward of God's kingdom. We are called as the anointed of God to go out and make a difference and allow the gospel to become real. That means that we have to take faith from up here, and we have to have, the feet have to touch the ground. Faith has to touch the ground. If faith is just up here, then it's like sitting around twiddling our thumbs, thinking all kinds of nice things. And that doesn't work. So what do we have to do in terms of our job performance? Being a Christian is a risk taker. That's what the gospel was about. Every one of the people that were given a talent or a gift were asked to use that gift as God wanted them to use it. And they took a risk. Many of them took a risk of how we invest our life here on this earth and what we do with our life. And so our faith calls us to take a risk in how we see each other. We need to see each other as unique. As the word I use is unrepeatable. We have to be able to see every single person as unrepeatable and blessed and unique in the eyes of God. Once we exclude one person, then we can exclude the next person and the next person. So our faith calls us, first of all, to see one another as God sees us. The second thing that our faith causes us is a risk, is to recognize that within each person, I honestly believe that within each person, God provides some type of a miracle in each person. And that miracle has to be unleashed, because we each have an absolute call. We have a gift that we can present to the world and bring to this world and make this world different. But that miracle has to be unleashed. What is the miracle in your life? And then are you going to be the person that can unleash the miracle in another person's life? That's a risk. And then finally, the final risk is that we have to be able to serve this world in love. That somehow we have to repair the world. We have to bring wholeness to this world. We have to bring us together. And so if we take those three risks and we live up to that, if we risk looking at each other the way God does, if we trust that there's a miracle in each person, and that we have the power to unleash that God gives us that power, And finally, that we have the ability to serve this world and use the gifts that God gave us. Then our job performance, our personal performance, will have our thumbprint on it. It will be ours, and we'll own this world in the name of God. And God's reign will be complete. That's God's reign. Us owning the world that God has given us and investing ourselves in that. So the reward is a divine reward. It's a reward of joy. It's a reward of peace. It's a reward of compassion. It's a reward of love beyond anything that we can imagine. And it's our ability to dream as God dreams. God bless you.